In this lesson, we will see how to examine the data using profile pane. We will examine using a distribution and highlighting the data and how to do searching and sorting. Once we have connected and configured the data, you can see that you have an option like a plus icon in the flow pane. If you click the flow pane, you can see what are all the other steps we can do with the data. That is clean step, aggregate, pivot, join, union, script, prediction, output, and then insert flow. We are going to look at the clean step now. So click on the clean step. Once you have clicked the clean step, you can see the profile pane. So this is the profile pane where you can see that every fields are looking like a cards. So these are a first card which is a donor potential card. This is the donor name card. This is demographic card, region card likewise. And just see the donor potential card. You can see what are the possible entries are there in the donor potential. This is HI, high, low, mid, medium, and not specified. Just hover over HI. You can see that you have 470 records, which is almost 24 percentage of the rows are entered with HI. And if I simply select any one entry here, you can see the corresponding data which are highlighted. So Aaron J, they have entered like HI, and the demographic region likewise. Under the card, under the field card, you can see that this is a data grid. The relevant data will be appearing here. This is the data grid. So it shows here, as I have selected HI here, the relevant data will be displayed here. Also, if I select R&D, so it will show the relevant record. It will highlight the records. Let us understand the data type. So while configuring the data, we saw that we have only the five primary data type, right? So that is number, the decimal, and number in the whole, date and time, date, and string. But here you can also see that you have another set of data type, which is a data role. This is not a type, this is a role of a data. Under that, you have a geographic role, that is airport, area code, vice versa. And then next is email, and next is URL. So these are all the data role. If you want to change the data type, you can also change it here. That is possible. Next, here you can see that it is showing 7, which means that under donor potential column, you have 7 unique values. If you want to change the field name, you can change it here. Double click it and simply you can change it like a donor, like simply a potential. If you do the change here, you can also see the change which has happened in the data grid. Now, just going to change the card. That is, I'm just going to alter the card. Okay. So, first I need donor name to be appeared and then only the potential. So, what you can do, you can simply select the card and move around. You can see that the same changes, that is, this is not a change, this is simply your repositioning it, that is happened in the data grid as well. But this simple repositioning is not considered to be a change. So that is not marked in the changes pane. Next is in the potential. I'm just again keeping the potential in the very first column as the very first column. Now what happened here? See, you have another option which is a sort. click on this, you can see you have the option called ascending and the descending. That is, if you want to sort by count, you can use ascending and descending. And if you want to sort by domain, you can use A to Z and Z to A. So this is a domain, right? So if you want to sort by Z to A, you can simply click here. And if you want to sort the count, for example, if you want to sort the donation amount, you can sort it using sort by count. I'll show you that. So this is ascending to descending, which is to sort it. And nearby, you have an option for searching. Let us search in the second column, second field, which is a donor name. Just click on the search. You can search it using any word. For example, I'm just giving GO and pressing enter. You can see which are all the names which consist of GO is coming up. If you want to do some exact matching, you can click these three dots. Simply click here. You have the search options. You have this much search options. So the default search option is contains. So whatever the name which contains GO will be displayed. If you want to find the name which starts with GO, then you can click here starts with, where you can see that the first two characters are G and O. If you want to find any character which ends with GO, any name which ends with GO, you can simply here click here ends with. Unfortunately, we don't have this entry, so it is not coming up. And if you want to see the name which exactly having GO, then you can click exact match. And if you want to see the name which does not contain the word, that is two characters GO, you can click here does not contain. And you have another filtering option here, which is keep only and exclude. So keep only means if you want to keep only these data, these records, excluding that is which does not contain GO, you can simply click here keep only. Or if you want to exclude these data which does not contain GO, you can click here to exclude it. Fine. So these are all the search options which are for the records inside the field. So I'm just going to leave it as such. I'm not going to do any changes here. This we will see in the upcoming lessons. And if you just click on the three dots, you can see that you have various options to do like filtering, clean, group values, split values, rename, duplicate, keep only field, create calculated field, publish data role. So this we will see in the upcoming lessons. You can just see, you can scroll down and see the data. What are the records which are available for this specific column? You can just scroll down and see. Or else you can also scroll here to see that. Just scroll it over. You can see that the postal code, it is showing like a histograms, that is it is segregated as a bins. So if you click here, this is a bin which consists of 20,000, that is 20000 to 22500, and this is a bin. So bins consist of some set of values and it will be grouped up. So if you want to change this, okay, so this is in the summary view. If you want to change this to the detailed view, you can simply select on the three dots in the card and then click on the detailed view. Automatically what happens is Tableau by itself will convert the number data type, that is a numeric data type, into the summary view, which shows up as a histograms. If you want to view it as a detail view, you can simply go and select here detail. You cannot see this view like a summary view in the string data type, because in string we cannot group it, but in numbers we can group the data. That is what the reason why the Tableau is automatically grouping it up with the summaries, like it is summarizing the data. And here you can see that on the profile pane, on the top of the profile pane, you can see that you have various options like filter values, automatic split, custom split, rename. So this we will discuss later. And here you have three recommendations. Okay, let's see what is the recommendation. So if you see like a bulb icon, this means that Tableau Prep Builder is recommending something to you to change it. This recommendation you also can see in the card, in the field card. Just scroll, you can see that same icon on the card, that is the top right of the card. Click on the recommendation, you can see what Tableau is recommending you. Okay, so that is, it is telling that instead of string you can change this to the data role, that is to state or province. This you can do it either, you can click here and apply. Okay, if you just click here, you can see that this field has been converted into the data role, that is state or province. You have another recommendation. So once if you have updated here, you can see that one recommendation is reduced, and you can see that the changer, you have changed the role of the field. That changes has been updated here as well as in the clean step. Now we are going to just do it for city. Just click on the recommendation city. You can see that it is asking, it is recommending that to change the data role to city. You can either do it here. Now I'm just going to show it by here. Okay, so click on the string, go to geographic and click on the city. It is changed. Whenever we are doing some changes, just see the changes happening in the changes pane and also in the flow step. Now the third recommendation, which I'm going to do it from here. Click on this and it will show that the postal code, and you can change the data role to zip or code to postcode. So click here, simply click here, it will show what is the change. So click here, apply. You can see the change. Now the recommendation, no, you don't have any recommendation here. So these are the three different types where you can just change the, or you can apply the recommendations. And above that, you can also see some three icons. So one is the profile pane icon, which is default. The second one is the data grid icon. So if you click here, the data grid, it will show you the complete records. And the third one is, that is if you want to see the field names, what are the fields which are there, so you can simply select here. I'm just getting back to the default view, which is the profile pane view. You can also notice that you have a search option here. This is to search the fields. Why should I search the field? For example, in our example, we have only 9 fields, that is 9 columns. But imagine if you are just working with the data which has nearly 100 fields. You cannot scroll, right? You cannot scroll and go and search for it. So simply you can click here and check for the field. So I'm just entering, trying to enter the potential. So it automatically showed up. If you want to do any changes here, you can simply do it. As we discussed about how to rename the data, that is renaming the field, you can also do it by clicking on the more options, that is the three dots, and click here to rename the field. In this video, we discussed about examining the data, how you have to examine the data using the profile pane. So this is what the profile pane, and what is distribution and highlighting the data. We have just highlighted the data and find out where we can apply, where the Tableau Prep Builder is creating the summary of the data, and for which data type it is creating the view, and it is also showing some recommendations as well for us. In the next lesson, we will look into how to clean the data easily with one clicks in Tableau Prep Builder.